as another man, no different, as fast as he can. Gets lows in his highs, more lows than highs. All he is another man, no different, as fast as he can. He has lows and highs, more lows than highs. Another man.
Couple things to note when we get the passenger seat out. We're gonna need a hole for the power control cable for the automatic seat. Looks like we overlap the front carpet by about 3-4 inches in the middle and overlap the back carpet 3 to 4 inches on this side. Next step, we're gonna take these bolts out, get this center console out of here. The 4 seat bolts were all 9/16 inch. The center console, those are gonna be 1/2 inch. So we'll get those taken out. Two on this side, 2 on the other side. The outer back bolt on both sides has the head of the bolt on the top. And it penetrates out through the bottom. This I had to clean up with a wire wheel to dislodge some rust to get that free. Once this one's out, then this seat, after the electrical connection, will be free to come out as well. That's the bolt there. Same electrical connector on this side as the other side. And then out this seat can come. two of the bolts. I ended up not getting the nut, but actually this is threaded with two different threads, and what came off of the frame loosened up better than the nut on the top. Hopefully I get those cleaned up and it will next time work how it was supposed to be. Now we just need to take these two 1/2-inch bolts out on each side of the center console, and then lastly the seat belt brackets. We're gonna work on the seat belt anchor. That's a T50 star bit, and kids had me put this skeleton in here, so you'll see the feet in the video. We're gonna try to get this out using the air gun. Sure enough, that came right out. Try to see if that will work just as well on the other side here. That came out as well. Not sure if there's a quick release down inside here. Not a lot of extra there, but sure enough, a release for that seat belt indicator. And that should be the last of the things we need to. Got these side seat belt anchors, gonna try the same thing on them. That is more solid there. It's pretty rusted underneath the body. I might have to get the wire wheel. I'll show you underneath here. That's this here. Might have to use the wire wheel a bit more on that. See if I can loosen that up. Just gonna take both these metal brackets off each side of the center console. That's a 3/8 inch. We're gonna clean those up, maybe repaint them. Those just go into this metal skeleton. We'll get all these bolts cleaned up. Looks like these brackets were a nice matte black at one time. We'll try to match that. Also need to take out these 4 screws of the inner sill plate on each side. These just go through the floor panel. And there's 4 of those on both sides. They come undone pretty easy, and then that plate is free. We'll do that on the other side as well. with these sill plates removed, and once I get this passenger side seat belt anchor bolt loose, then all of what's holding the carpet in will be removed, and we can get the old carpet out clean and get ready to put in the new. Okay, here's all the hardware we removed except for one of the seat belt anchors, which I've yet to get out, but I hope to do that. I have the 8 screws from the door sill plates. We have the seat belt, lap belt posts, and the 2 middle seat belt female connector bolts. We have the 4 bolts that held the armrest to the floor of the vehicle, and then the 4 bolts that held the armrest to the metal brackets. These are the seat bolts themselves. There's 6 of them that have this dual stud, 3 which the nut came off, and then 3 which the post came out from the floor. And then again, the back outer bolt on both seats is this longer bolt that goes down and through. We're going to get all those cleaned up. Just cleaning up the threads. Got the main skeleton of the seats all cleaned up and repainted on the passenger side. Still have the driver's side to get taken care of. Just gonna recut these threads. This is 3/8 inch, 16 threads. Just gonna make sure that everything's nice and clean and free of rust. I'm gonna do that on all of the threads of the bolts we removed, and also the ones going in. The middle armrest is a 5/16 18 thread. All of the seat belt anchors are 7/16 20 thread. And I already reamed those out. So pretty much done with the thread cleaning and socket bolt. Top thread for the seat posts is a 3/8 inch 24 count thread. 3 of these I got out, 2 I didn't. threads are pretty clean. Got one more over here. Probably put anti-seize on all of these, as much trouble as I had getting them out. Hopefully the next guy has less trouble. I installed these in the overhead Just gonna cut these pieces to fit this. Might stop the video just for editing sake when I get there. Okay, here it is. Got the entire front and back parts of the floor all covered. This in here. Looks like these 1/2-inch bolts. And we're going to put some anti-seize on them. Just because of what happens underneath the body. Try to tighten that one up. Gonna just go ahead and get the rest of these put in. I noticed the carpet kit that comes with the Jeep, the replacement kit, the carpet comes up and over the back of that, so I guess the option is to trim out that hinge hole, or to just go ahead and take the carpet to here and keep this original apron, which I'm probably gonna do. Just gonna bring these a little bit snug while I do the other ones. Make sure everything's on before I tighten it all up. All of the hardware, the seat posts that I pulled out, I cold blued both the studs and the nuts. There are kits that replace all of this, but these were all in pretty good shape. And so what we're gonna do is, again, throw some anti-seize on what is going down into the car body. Because almost all of these penetrate the frame and have some part of them that's sticking out the bottom of the vehicle. So this way we can just make sure everything is where it needs to go, and everything can be taken back out later much more simply than I was able to get everything out. So we're just going to apply anti-seize to the stud part that goes into the frame, and we've got one more to do. And we'll do this with the seat belt, the replacement seat belt bolts. They were all pretty corroded, so I am getting the replacement kit from Team Wagoneer, and I'll put anti-seize on them as well. There we go, and should be ready to put the carpet in. A couple questions I had when getting the carpet was going to be how high up the firewall it went, how much trimming I was going to have to do, and how to identify where the bolt holes come through so that I could get everything lined up. also how much overlap on the sides where they're going to be, and how hard or easy is it going to be to trim this carpet. And how easy would it get to be to have it lay in where it should. Looks like it wants to fit. Looks like I just need to do some trimming on the sides and a little bit with the middle here so that we can still have the vent blow out. So let's do work on that. You can go ahead and install the side pieces. You can actually, you have a pretty good amount, inch to an inch and a half of leeway when you're trimming the edge there. So we're just gonna cut this off so that we lay just inside the gasket here. And that way when we put this on, we cover that up. Again, for the back, the replacement carpet is molded to come here, go up, and then go back under the seat. But this is in such good shape that I probably am going to continue to use it and just bring the new carpet under that, let that sit on top of it. Okay, after getting some different shaving and cutting done, I think I've got basically the majority of it trimmed up. I have for the power seat line to come through. I'll tuck this under here, but first I want to locate all the holes for all the bolts, and just making sure that we're all where we want to be when we go to put those through. Locating the different bolt holes for the seats, referencing where they're at underneath, marking it with a Sharpie. pushing down where they're gonna be. Just double checking everything, making sure I get holes where I want. I've got a punch. It's a 1/2 inch punch. That cuts a plug out for that bolt, where that'll go. And we should be mostly set up. Still got to locate the seat belt mounts and the back two, which I have one right here where the armrest bolts go. Got to locate this other one for that on this side. Should be right here. There it is. And I'm just going to mark that with a little Sharpie so I don't lose that. Okay. And then we also need to locate the seat belt. Which sits right here. There we go. And one on the other side, probably in the same area. Get a feel for that too. There it is, right there. Okay, now that we got those located, okay, after getting some different shaving and cutting done, I think I've got basically the majority of it trimmed up. For the power seat line to come through. I'll tuck this under here, but first I want to locate all the holes for all the bolts and just making sure that we're all where we want to be when we go to put those through. Just locating the different bolt holes for the seats, referencing where they're at underneath, marking it with a Sharpie. And then marking, pushing down where they're gonna be. Alright. Just double checking everything, making sure I get holes where I want. I've got a punch. It's a 1/2 inch punch. That cuts a plug out for that bolt, where that'll go. And we should be mostly set up. Still got to locate the seat belt mounts and the back two, which I have one right here where the armrest bolts go. Got to locate this other one for that on this side. Here, there it is. And I'm just going to mark that with a little Sharpie so I don't lose that. Okay. And then we also need to locate the seat belt. Which sits right here. There we go. And one on the other side, probably in the same area. Get a feel for that too. There it is, right there. Okay. Now that we got those located, I'm going to finish trimming. All right. Looks like these are 1/2 inch as well. Try to get this in here. See if we can ballpark getting this in the right location. Using a screwdriver just to make sure I'm lined up. That through the carpet. Gonna get the other two started before I snug them up. And one more on this side. can put the seats in. Gonna get the power hooked up here. And then just a matter of getting those on the bolts. Get these bolts put on underneath. Looks like everything is working. And we'll just go ahead and tighten everything up. All right, gonna put this skirting back in and see how it looks. Get it all tucked in. Okay. We're going to put the driver's side seat in, and that should be it with the seat project.